The Mitchell house felt colder after Anna's death. The walls still carried her laughter, the kitchen still smelled faintly of her favorite cinnamon tea, yet she was gone. And without her, everything felt strangely hollow. Her daughter, Claire, was 24, caught between being an adult and still feeling like a child who needed her mother's advice. But the hardest part wasn't her own grief. It was watching her father, Michael, stumble through his days like a man whose heart had been cut in half. Michael had always been steady. A man of few words, strong and dependable. But now grief bent him low. Claire often found him sitting on the porch, staring into the night as if he expected Anna to walk back home. Claire tried to stay strong for him. She took over cooking, cleaned the house, and filled the silence with little stories, anything to keep him from drowning in sorrow. One evening, she found him in the kitchen, his hands resting on the table, his eyes fixed on a family photo of the three of them. His voice trembled. She would hate seeing us like this. Claire sat across from him, her heart aching. Then we'll find a way through, Dad. Together. Their eyes met, and something heavy passed between them, an unspoken understanding that grief had bound them closer than before. As weeks passed, they began to lean on each other in unexpected ways. They cooked side by side, laughed at Anna's old stories, and even stayed up late listening to the vinyl records Anna once loved. One night, after finishing a pie they had baked together, Michael looked at Claire with a softness that startled her. "You remind me of her," he whispered. "The way you fill the room? The way you care." Claire froze. She didn't know how to reply, but inside her something shifted. From that moment, she began to see him not just as her father, but as a man, fragile, wounded, and searching for comfort. And whether she wanted it or not, she was the only one who could give it. The closeness between Claire and Michael deepened, though neither dared to speak of it. Their grief tied them together, but so did a new tenderness that felt both comforting and confusing. Michael tried to keep his distance. He fixed broken cabinets, mended leaky faucets, busy work to keep his hands occupied and his mind from drifting. But the truth was, he noticed everything about Claire now, her quiet strength, the way her presence softened the silence, the way she reminded him of Anna, and yet was entirely herself. One rainy evening, Claire found him on the porch holding Anna's old journal. He looked tired, older than his years. "You're avoiding me," she said gently. Michael sighed. "I'm trying to do what's right." Claire's voice trembled. "What if pushing me away isn't right at all?" He looked at her, then torn. Slowly, he handed her the journal, pointing to a line Anna had once written. "Take care of each other." No matter what, Claire's eyes blurred with tears. She wanted us to lean on each other, not to live like strangers. Her hand touched his, and this time he didn't pull away. His thumb brushed her knuckles, hesitant but warm. The air between them grew thick with unspoken emotions. "I'm afraid," Michael admitted, his voice low. "I'm not," Claire whispered. "I just don't want to lose you too." Her words cracked open something inside him. He reached up, wiping away her tears with his thumb. The gesture lingered too long, carrying more than comfort. Their eyes locked, both seeing the same truth neither had wanted to name. It wasn't just grief anymore. It was love, different, complicated, yet real. Michael pulled in a shaky breath. "Claire, whatever happens, you're the reason I can still wake up every morning." Claire pressed her forehead against his shoulder, her voice breaking. "And you're the reason I don't feel completely alone." They stayed like that, holding on as if the world outside no longer mattered. For the first time since Anna's death, the house didn't feel cold. It felt alive again. No labels, no explanations, just two hearts finding warmth where they thought there would only be sorrow. Their lives had changed forever. And though the future was uncertain, one thing was clear. They would face it together, bound not only by loss, but by a love they had never imagined. The end.